Hi YouTube, got a bit of a different video for you today because I've bought a new car recently. It's a 2005 BMW 5 Series and I thought it'd have auxiliary or Bluetooth or something like that, and it's got hardly any media connectivity at all. So the job for today is we're going to try and add some Bluetooth streaming capabilities to this car with this patch cable, which costs just under £10 on eBay. So we're going to try and get this in to the back of the radio. We're going to try and code it in with NCS Expert, which I've not done before, so that should be fun. And then hopefully we'll have some Bluetooth streaming for less than a tenner in our E60. Now I have got phone communications on this car. It does let me ring people, which is a novelty in itself because I've never had that before. But now, being an E60, it's not perfect. I've got this message, there's something wrong with the airbags. Now these cars have got like 1 million recalls for airbags, so I think I'll probably let BMW look at that one. But this code keeps coming up, which is a bit crap. Now to start with getting all this off, this panel comes off in a wanner, prying it from that side, and then with that off we've got access to the screws that hold this in. We take that out and then we can get this unit out. So I'll just shut that and then let's get started. Alright, that panel just pulled off, there's no screws, it just pops off. And then we've got screws there and there. They're the next ones. Right, I've got these two screws out, and you have to apologise for the sun, we don't normally get this in England. So. Right, this thing kind of comes out in one big piece. I believe the next unit to take out is this one. So we've got 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so those 4 screws are actually the full thing, look. Now I've got all that to come out. Having an automatic right now doesn't seem like the best thing, does it? Because it won't go out. This won't go out of gear unless it's running as well. Right, she's out. This is quite cool. I've never seen a head unit before with a little cooling fan on the back. That's nice. Might be somewhere to rob power from as well for that little adapter. Right, this is going a little stranger than what I thought it would. The port that I was expecting to take with this new adapter was already taken by the CD changer, which according to what I've read, should have been in the port next to it. Now I've never tried the CD player in this car, the CD changer, so it might just not work, but I think I might as well try and presume that is a CD changer because we've got no aux ports that I can see. Hopefully this is not had auxiliary all the time, I've just not spotted it, but there's no external audio device showing up on the iDrive, so I don't think there is anything going on. There's also not a 6 CD changer on the iDrive, but I found the cassette in the glove box. There's a CD changer in the glove box. I didn't know that, but like I said, there's this connector here and it's only got 3 wires going through it, so I can't see it doing that much. Now we've come to the exciting stage. Now, before I can get all this actually connected in, the wiring, the loom here is so taut, it's not got a lot to play with, so I'm going to have to do the wiring before we put everything back together. One done, one to go. Right, that's the adapter all soldered in. So we're going to get this adapter in and then plug the accessories in afterwards. We'll get everything plugged back in and then we'll just give it a quick ignition test. Hopefully that's an LED and will tell us if, we're cooking with gas or not. God bless China and the LEDs. Another update on the CD changer / where does this go fiasco. The new adapter doesn't actually go in the one which is meant to be for auxiliary, which is this one here, the one above the fuse. So it'll slot into that one fine and clip in, but it won't go on this side. Hopefully this works because it's not what I'm expecting to see. Right, we're going to go inside for this next part, the coding part. So I'll meet you in there. It might get a bit darker, but... Oh no, you won't. cows are absolutely loving this one. Right, I've just been watching some YouTube videos on how to do this, naturally. NCS Expert being a coding tool, you can fuck it up quite easily. As with any computer system, you need to do it right. And I'm not going to try and make a tutorial on how to do this because there's quite a few out there on YouTube and written up on the internet as well. I am going to put on the backup battery just to make sure the battery doesn't go flat whilst I'm writing the code, because that would be terminal, I'm sure. So we'll try and reduce any chance of that happening by connecting another 12-volt battery. The battery that's in this car, it's weak. It obviously wants changing. I gave it a full charge when I first bought the car, and it's been so good since. And I left one of the doors open just this weekend, and I think that's had a detrimental effect. And I think the battery probably just wants another charge. Probably due for changing at the same time, but you know me. I did have the Audi battery in it for a little while, but it's a smaller capacity. And that's something that I can now change with this extra software that we've got, but I couldn't change it previously. So I put the old one back in. I'm waffling. I'm going to get this NCS Expert. I'm going to become an NCS Expert. Oh, can't have everything having battery problems. Nancy's my gran before anyone starts. Oh, it's so quiet. French car show in my Clio.
You want to go to F2, change job. On this one, we're going AUX. Now press add. It's going to be added to the list right here. See it? Then you press OK. Then you want to go to back, which is F6.
Followed that chap's guide on YouTube to doing this. I wasn't able to select the same NCS profile as what he had, but I did it in a different one and it seems to have worked. We've got the audio source on the iDrive now. If we go down to entertainment, we've now got audio aux, which wasn't there before. And I've even been able to connect to a new Bluetooth device that I didn't recognise, this Rui, whatever it is. So I'm thinking that's what the name of the adapter's called, and we know it's got power, but I've connected to it and I'm trying to play music and it thinks it's playing, but there's nothing coming through. And I've done the volume all the way up on here, and nothing. Just to make sure I've not accidentally unplugged the wrong button. See if the radio still works.
It could lead to dangerous mistakes.
So the radio's still working, but for some reason we're getting no.
For coronavirus.
What are you doing now?
Clarence House says that he has mild symptoms.
Takes some getting used to this iDrive malarkey. So yeah, we're in, and we're just not getting anything through, which is a shame. So it's got to be that I've got it in the wrong hole, surely. My only concern is, as I mentioned when I was doing it, you couldn't actually get the connector into the adjacent slot, which the internet told me that I was putting this in wrong, so I kind of half expected it not to work. I'm going to take this apart now and see if I can find a way of bodging it into the other side. With everything powered up and with it coded in, we can test it quite easily, so let's try it. I have to get the old gear shifter into drive first. Right, so basically everything that we read earlier was correct. This pin, although it would only locate in this one, was supposed to be in this one. Now, there's no way that it would have fitted without some modification. So these pins, let me show the original one. They've got several little kind of channels on there to make sure they go in the right place and that all the pins are located. Also make sure that the left one can't go in the right and the right one can't go in the left. So I'm guessing this kit that I've bought, the company has just put the wrong connector on, or perhaps they've not tested it, or perhaps this is different in different models of BMW and it's just the E60. This is a 2005 E61. So maybe it gets to the point where, you know, you've got this same vehicle in so many different locations and being built all around the world. So maybe it's just a difference there. Or are they all built in Germany? They're probably all built in Germany, aren't they? So my fix was, as you can probably tell, I've just taken a few of them out. I just used a file. I used some snips to get rid of the bulk of it, and then just used a regular old file and just filed away the plastic until I could get the connector to fit in the back of the head unit. And if I just give it a little wiggle in, it's not perfect. It's a lot better than what it was, but if I just put that back in there now, boom. But yeah, there we go, Bluetooth. So let's definitely put this car back into modern times. I don't know if it's got a proper Chinese voice. Yeah, a little bit. Doesn't sound right good, that, does it? I mean, it is what it is. I tell you what, it's a lot better than, and you know what's coming next. It's a lot better than one of these things that you plug in. This is what the car came with, thanks to Chris. I could have thrown it in, but I had one of these in the Audi. It was terrible. Couldn't really do a lot about it in the Audi, but saw these on eBay and thought it was worth a try. So yeah, happy with that. Let's get the car back together then. Well, I might have played with the settings a little bit. Okay, that's better. Well, that brings us to the end of the video. So success somewhat. We had to bodge it a little bit, and we've lost the functionality from whatever that other connector was. I've tested the inbuilt phone and that still works, because I saw that sometimes the adjacent adapter can be used for phone, but the phone still works. So I've got phone and Bluetooth. That might be for the CD changer that we've wiped out, but that's not being used anyway. The cassette looks a bit messy, to be honest. I tried to get the cassette into the changer last week and it didn't feel too good, but Bluetooth's in hand, Bluetooth's sorted. A few things to note along the way. Firstly, the adapter that I've bought, it doesn't seem that strong, and it's definitely just a cheap Chinese Bluetooth adapter. This is probably something you could make yourself and perhaps put better components in for not a lot more money. But I mean, to have the full thing with the correct connector on and everything like that for 110 and delivered, you may as well start there. So the installation wasn't too bad, apart from obviously having to file down the adapter so that it'd go in the slot adjacent to the one that they thought it should have been in. Like I say, that could just be a thing between different BMW models, and that might just be a thing that you have to find out for yourself and see what happens. My car was different. It said it was compatible on the listing, so never mind. But we got the adapter in. We've got the adapter in the right location. We stole the power feed from, I believe it was a white and purple wire, and then we took the ground from the big brown wire. So the installation of the adapter was fine. When it comes to the NCS Expert, the coding, now I tried to follow a guide online, and I couldn't follow it to the wire because I didn't have the same profile that this guy had. And he did mention in the video that you could download this NCS profile online. I had a quick look, but I decided to gamble and just use the same profile from which I started with. So I didn't have the profile which he started with or that which he changed to. Now the profile that I used all the way through was Expert Mode 4.0.1, I believe. I might be able to confirm that.
He's making some kind of major announcement, throwing a big party.
I tried to do just the Expert Mode and it told me it was an incompatible version, that it was out of date. So I had to just use I think it was Expert 4.0.1 was the one I used. So I'm happy with that. I hope you've enjoyed watching my video. We'll post some more videos on this car soon. An introduction for starters, an explanation of what's happened to the Audi. I still own the Audi. I'm planning to have a look at it. It hurt itself quite drastically. We think it's the dual mass flywheel. It came at a really bad time. I simply didn't have time to investigate the car or anything. I had to get a car, which is how I ended up with this, because this car was local. You know, E61. I've wanted one for ages, but I've always been really scared of buying one. But I paid just over £2,000 for this. It's not a lot of money really now, and it's a lot of car. So, you know, we'll get back to all those sayings soon, you know, good car and all that jazz. We'll have a proper introduction on the E61, but for now, goodbye.